Hi, good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon. Am I catching you all at the wrong time? Is it a siesta time today? Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me also this opportunity to talk to you guys. Yeah? What I'm speaking to you is something which is very close to my heart. We've been at this business for about 5.5 years, trying to change the way in which dairy or milk product is brought to the people in Asia especially. MOOToken, nice snazzy looking coin. Yeah? The problem is there is actually a severe lack of good quality fresh milk for especially the developing economies in Asia, in the Asia Pacific region. You all would be thinking, what, I don't see a problem, I can go to the supermarket and buy fresh milk. But if I told you that the fresh milk that you buy in the supermarket, even in Singapore, is not actually fresh milk, would you believe me? Yeah? Because that fresh milk, which is labeled as fresh milk, is actually reconstituted powdered milk. You know, if the producers brought fresh milk all the way from Europe or USA or even Australasia by air freight into Singapore to sell it to you, they won't be able to sell it to you at less than $3. It has to be something like $15 or $25 per liter. That is the truth. So the only way they can bring milk and sell it to you at $3 or $5 is if they bring it by sea freight. If they bring it by sea freight, it'll take 10 days to reach here. It will not have a shelf life of 15 to 20 days as printed on the label. This is a reality. So we can go and verify this thing. So the other side of it is that this dairy industry is actually very much underdeveloped in this region. Very much underdeveloped. Okay? It is a huge industry, has got a huge potential, but most of the developing economies, we have not invested enough in that. People don't see the potential. So what we are trying to do is trying to solve that problem. Okay? So to give you a brief outline of what actually is the problem, okay, I'm going to show you some slides, some pictures of existing farms. This is the kind of farm that you get. These pictures were taken in India, but let me assure you that this is the kind of farms that you get all over Asia, all over the developing economies. Whether it's in Indonesia, or whether it's Malaysia, or whether it's Thailand or Myanmar, you get similar kind of situation. Now that leads to a lot of systemic problems. With that kind of milking infrastructure, that kind of farm infrastructure, you get this. You get a less than ideal kind of a way of milking, storing, transporting, collecting at collection centers, processing, and finally even at the stores. Okay. What is a fact is that if you do not chill the milk the minute after you milk it from the cow's udder, within 20 minutes, if you don't chill it to less than 4 degrees, that milk will become useless. Because in the first 20 minutes, there is enzymes protecting the milk. Beyond 20 minutes, these enzymes are no longer effective. And if you don't chill it, the bacteria will bifurcate, which it will double every minute or so. The Western world says anything more than 100,000 bacteria count per ml of milk, that milk is sewerage quality. In other words, it needs to be thrown away in the sewerage. And unfortunately, with this kind of processes, you have these issues. Okay, there's a big disconnect between how the milk is processed from the time it's produced till the time it gets into the processing facility. Cold chain is practically non-existent, if ever there is. So you don't get the milk chilled within 20 minutes. Actually, you don't even get it chilled within 24 hours, let alone 20 minutes. Okay? And by the time you get to the end customer, there are custody chain challenges. Who is responsible for what? It's not very clear. Okay? All of it eventually leads to results in milk which is completely, by world standards, unfit for human consumption. If you look at that cold chain process, I told you, if you don't chill the milk within 20 minutes, the bacteria bifurcates and multiplies. So if we have milk that gets actually into the production processes after 24 hours or even 12 hours or 18 hours, do you want to know how much milk, how much bacteria there is in that one drop of 1 ml of milk? The world standard says anything more than 100,000 is not acceptable. And in India's case, that bacteria count is 8 to 9 million per ml. You know, it creates a whole lot of other problems. Because even if you were to kill all the bacteria by a process of pasteurization or high heat treatment, ultra UHT milk is high heat treatment, where you kill all the bacteria, you also kill all the nutrition. Okay? But even if you manage to kill the bacteria, now 8 to 9 million bacteria living in 1 ml of drop of milk. Bacteria is a living organism. It needs to feed on something. What does it feed on? It feeds on all the nutritional component inside the milk. So by the time you pasteurize it, even if you kill the bacteria, the milk has got no nutritional value. And there are lots of knockdown effect of this, because generations of children and adults depending on this milk for their protein source. You can imagine protein, that calcium and all that is important for brain development, for bone development. So you're going to have generations of people who will be having problems with brain development issues and also bone. So osteoporosis, things associated with the brain like Alzheimer's, dementia, all of this is going to become big issues, but nobody cares about it. And especially in a country like India. You know why? Because even without doing anything, a big cooperative like Amul in India sells $6 billion every year. This is the issue, okay? But like I said, this problem is not only pertinent to India, it is actually a predominant problem in the rest of Asia Pacific, which is what we want to change. Okay? We have a solution, and our solution to producing good quality fresh milk and making it affordable to the general public. As I told you, if you get this milk from the Europe or Canada or even Australasia and ship it into Singapore, that milk will cost you about $25 per liter. Upwards of $15, $20, $25 per liter. It won't be $3. Okay? Now, so that's the key. We want to make it affordable, not only produce good quality. And what's the solution? The solution is actually currently being developed in conjunction with a farm in a place called Javli in India, in Maharashtra at the moment, which is what the farm that we own. Okay? What that farm location is in Maharashtra is where the star is located here. This is the middle belt of India, for those of you who know about India. Hyderabad, Solapur, Pune and Bombay is further up, and this is about 300 kilometers from Hyderabad. It takes you about 4.5 hours to travel. Okay? Why there and all that, if you're interested in all the statistics, you can come down to the booth at the corner and we can explain to you. Okay? What we have set up, you can see that infrastructure from satellite. Okay, this is a 26-acre piece of land where we have built it. Surrounding it is all agricultural land which provides us with a fodder. A farm of the size that we have built, 2,500 cows, you need another 2,000 acres of agricultural land. Okay, that's what, and we depend on the farmers. And incidentally, this project is an all-inclusive project. So when we develop this, we are also lifting the economy of the people around that region. This is all the infrastructure that's already in place. We are ready to go to market. We are not somebody who just wants to produce raw milk and feed it into the system, because when we feed it, our very supremely high quality milk into a system which has got crap milk, everything will get homogenized, you won't know the difference. So we're going to push out our own brand name and make a difference. Our concept is farm to fridge. Farm to fridge, which means from the time it comes out from the farm right down to the fridge, everything is a closed loop. We take care of every bit of parameters. Today we have already invested about 8.5 million USD. This is an ongoing project. It was a project which was started even before this blockchain craze started. But what blockchain has done is it has given us another avenue, another another amount of technology which can take us into a different level, so that there's better authentication, better what we call validation of all the product that we produce, so that at the consumer's hand, they can verify that this is actually a product and it is exactly the product that we say it is. And you can validate everything about the product, where it came from, what went into producing it, what is the journey it took, and all that. Okay? It's an integrated farm to fridge solution. All of this infrastructure is already in place in the system. From the time the milk comes out from the cow's udder, no human hands will touch it. So there's no contamination. Okay? The current system in India is a cooperative system. 110 million farmers, each one owning about 2 to 7 cows, milk it by hand. And by the time it gets into the production facility, there's a middleman who collects it. There are many different hands which actually handles it. and you don't know what these hands do. The adulteration is pretty ridiculous. We thought China is quite bad, but India is also equally terrible. They not only adulterate it with just water and all that, sometimes they even put detergent inside to think. Sometimes they put waste cooking oil to increase the protein content. You know, there's a whole lot of things that actually happens inside there. That's a different story altogether. So in our concept, it's from farm to fridge, no interference. Everything is controlled. And this is where the blockchain comes in. And today, the technology has developed so much that we can put Internet of Things. If you haven't heard of this term called IoT, IoT allows equipment to be connected to the internet, which then feeds data into the blockchain. The blockchain capitalizes on it. At any point in time, any fridge can send this data, it can be embedded and it can be put into a blockchain. And at the end of the day, it can be pulled out when you scan a barcode scanner at the end. So if you imagine this, if you go into a shop and you pull out a milk packet, you see a barcode, you use my app and you scan it. When you scan it, you will identify that you'll be able to verify that this is an authentic product. It is not a fake product. That it is not somebody else in between who just came in and put in a barcode. And then you will be able to trace back information on that barcode, which will tell you where it came from, what kind of breed, if you want to put that inside, what feed was fed to the cow. All of that can be put inside that. That's the exciting thing about this technology, and that's what we are building. Okay. The other interesting catchphrase to use is from, I said farm to fridge. The catchphrase is from grass to glass. How's that? Yeah, from grass to glass, you'll be able to identify exactly what you wet into the product that you are buying. At a consumer's end, that puts a lot of power in your hand because you can then make a choice, an informed choice to decide to buy the good quality product that you want to buy. Okay? Now, in the barcode, this is the basic level information that you can have, but we will build on it a little bit more. At the basic level, you want to know that this is an authentic product, when it was manufactured, when it came in, what's the expiry date and things like that. Yeah? Now, why should you invest, right? That's a key question. All of you are investors, am I right? How many of you are investors? The key question you want to find out is, why must I invest with you? If I invest with you, can I make money? Am I right? That's the first question. Right? So I'm going to tell you a few things here, and hopefully it makes sense to you, and you come along the journey with us. There's a big picture, very, very big picture here. Not just about making money, but also how you can make this world a better place. Okay? The tokens have got a very, very high value appreciation potential. Just look at this. I mean, why do I say that? Yeah, because the global dairy is very huge. Today, the global dairy market is 442 billion. In 2014, it was only 336 billion. It's now going to be 442 billion by 2019. It's a huge growth. The best part of it is 63% of this growth is coming from the Asia-Pacific region, the developing economies of the Asia-Pacific region. Okay, that's a huge amount of money. And if you take India alone, India is currently at $120 billion market. Okay, and they're expected to grow at 16% compound annual growth rate. If you are an investor, if you are in any sort of a business, you would know that this is a phenomenal growth rate. It's a compound annual growth rate of 16%. And if you come into that industry now, you are riding that wave. And it's going to be $150 billion. Another interesting anecdote about this is this. At $150 billion, India alone is more than 1/3 of the world's market. That's phenomenal. That's really, really, really phenomenal. Okay? We plan to grow big together with them. And together with us, our token value will appreciate. Why? Because as we open up more and more farms in this region, and there's the demand for our milk starts growing, the demand for our tokens will grow. Okay? And when the demand for tokens grows, economic theory is very simple. It says if you've got a limited supply of something, the demand is astronomical, the price of the token will go up. Which is why we are very confident. We have already got expressions of interest in the following countries, from Myanmar, from Bangladesh, from Indonesia, from Malaysia, and from Thailand. Right? Now, I'm just going to take you through an example with just India alone. Okay? Because when we started this farm, it was about making a difference to the Indian people. But today the vision has grown much bigger than that because we see what the potential is. After having studied the whole Asian market, we realize the shortfall is as great. It's not as great as in India, but it's also equally great. Okay? In the region where we are operating in Solapur, near Solapur, okay, the farm is in Jevali. If you just look at five of the main cities, which is Bombay, Pune, Hyderabad, and Solapur. Yeah. If you establish one more farm in each of these with about 2,500 cows, that is the size of our farm. 2,500 cows will be producing about 50,000 liters of milk per day per farm, which is about 250,000 liters per day in total. But we are feeding into a region where just the cities alone, the population is about 38.8 million, consuming about 9.7 million liters per day. Now, if you look at this statistic, you realize there's still a huge shortfall between what we can produce and what the market is consuming. That's tremendous potential, which is the reason why we know that our milk, every last drop will get sold, because the market will absorb 10 times more than that. Okay? So with that demand, with that kind of a demand, our token demand will actually go up and the price will go up. Okay? Closer to home, do you all know that 95%, Malaysia is actually 95% deficient in its milk production. It can only satisfy 5% of its domestic consumption. In 2007, my partner, when he made a presentation to the Malaysian Agriculture Ministry and all that, he said, if you go according to your growth pattern, you are at 4%. They were at 4% production rate, and he said you will hit 5% by 2010. Of course, they didn't listen to him much. They thought they can still do it. And today is 2017, a decade later, and they're only at 5%. They're just hitting 5%. So they still can grow by 95%. Our proposal was, if you follow our proposal, just one farm with 6,000 cows itself, we will add another 7% to the dairy production, which is what we are now in a position to execute. Okay. These are some statistics. Malaysia is ranked number 10 in the global dairy market by volume, and imported about 352.5 thousand tons of dairy products worth 797 million. It imported this from Western countries. Okay, Ahmad Shabari is actually the former agricultural minister, and he said this: Malaysia needs about 223,000 cows, and today it has got only 21,000 cows. So there's a lot of potential for growth, and they're looking to grow, but they don't know how to grow it and what is the technology. That's where we come in. Okay. So we are now making inroads to contact the agriculture minister to get on and put our program in place in Malaysia. Now, Indonesia, same deal. Indonesia currently produces about 25% of their own production. But of course, Indonesia is a much more bigger market than Malaysia. Okay? So, although they are only 75%, that volume is even larger. So it's the same story. Okay? So I think by now you know the demand for dairy is very huge, and there's a huge shortfall. Okay, if you had any false perception that we are sufficient in dairy because you can get your fresh milk from the supermarket, I hope I changed that a bit. Okay, because we are not getting fresh milk. Okay? Now the other reason why you want to come with us is we've got minimum infrastructure or construction risk, because as you can see, the flagship farm is already about 85% complete. Okay. And we are building our whole blockchain technology based on this farm. Okay. This is some of the infrastructure that's already in place, because our farm is actually a multi-directionally integrated farm. Not only is it important to produce good quality milk, but you've got to make it affordable. And in order to do that, you must make it complete. And one of the biggest arguments that we have against any dairy is that it produces too much of greenhouse gases, methane gases. So you've got to find a way to close that loop. Our farm aims for a zero carbon emission by recycling the manure. The manure is actually very powerful. It has got lots of economic value that you can actually pull out from the manure by processing it, by producing biogas, by producing biofertilizers and all that, which is what we are doing. Okay? Now, so that's the other reason why you want to get into this project, because it's also a low environmental impact project. Okay, we are an eco-friendly project. Besides the integration of the cow herd management to processing of the milk and everything, in the downstream side, we have actually incorporated the processing of waste management, which produces a lot more revenue for the farm, which as investors is also good for you. Now, there's also a very strong utility case for our token ecosystem. Yeah? The tokens by themselves, you can use them to purchase cows if you want to invest in the cows to generate money. We have got an interesting cow housing scheme where we'll give you interesting dividends of between 15 to 20%, but that's a different story altogether. The tokens can also be used to purchase farm products, and also when the plan is to also go for IPO in a couple of years' time. And as token investors, we'll give you priority by giving you these coins at the pre-ICO, the opportunity to get into our IPO, pre-IPO placement shares, okay? And pay for ICO advisory services with PLMP. PLMP has consented that if you invest in our tokens, in the future, if you want to launch your own ICO and you want to engage PLMP for their advisory services, you can be paying for their services with our tokens. So if you invest in these tokens now, the tokens price will appreciate and you can invest in the future in your own ICO at a discounted price. Yeah. The app ecosystem that powers is also a very unique opportunity, unique creation by us. Okay, the app actually allows you to transfer your token to coin so that you can use the coin to buy your milk when we establish our vendors, and then it allows you to identify stores, and these are all the 5 features that the app will have. For further demonstration of actually how this app works and all that, you can see my partners and all that at the corner at our booth, and they explain to you further. We'll actually demonstrate to you this app. The beta version of the app is already functional, and you can actually buy the tokens through the app. If you've got a PayPal account or if you've already got cryptocurrencies, you can actually buy using our app. Okay? The app can then allow you to transfer coins between individuals on a private exchange basis. You can also sell this. Okay, these are some of the functions. You can use the app to scan the product so they can verify that the product they're buying is authentic. And to encourage people to use this whole app and all that, we will also be giving you free tokens if you provide feedback and all that. That's one of the loop that we have to improve, or what we call customer engagement. Okay? Then when the customer purchases using coins, we also reward them further. It's like one of those loyalty points. You can use fiat and buy, you buy it at a certain price, you use the coins and buy, you get it at a cheaper price. The more coins you use, the more you get rewarded, because we rebate you additional coins. So it's like if you use 500 coins in a week, we give you back 50 coins, right? So that's how we intend to propel the whole token economy. And the other most interesting feature is it's powered by something called a distributed server app, okay? Where every time a transaction happens between a merchant and a client, there is another app which actually serves as a witnessing function, and it allows you to earn tokens, which is one of the reasons why you want to download this app as soon as you can scan the QR code. And if you've got an Android app, you can download it immediately. If you've got an iPhone app, you'll have to wait for about 2 months or so. Now, if you have this app downloaded and you've got an account, as long as you've got this app, without knowing anything, this app can be earning money for you. Whenever there is a transaction that happens, this app will earn what is known as a witnessing fee, which is going to be one of those features which is going to propel this app virally to everyone. Yeah? Now, the interesting thing about this app is that unlike the Ethereum ERC20 tokens that you all are familiar with, the biggest problem with the current Bitcoin system and ERC20 token is that as the system gets congested, it slows down the transaction process. So although it started with the concept that a transaction between merchant and customers should be fast, within a few seconds, it has gotten ridiculously slow now, because a Bitcoin transfer sometimes can take you 30 minutes or sometimes a few days. Imagine standing at the store trying to buy a milk and taking 30 minutes or 3 days to do that transaction. That's what's happening. But in our system, it eradicates all that problem. Because in this system, the more people that get on, the faster the network transacts. The more because every node, every app that is downloaded in a wallet then becomes a mining node by itself. So I don't need a separate set of miners to help me power that ecosystem, right? So the more people that get on, the transaction speed gets much faster, you get rewarded, everybody is happy. Okay? Okay, and a typical merchant today, if you have a payment gateway like PayPal and all that, you got to pay 3% to them. In the future, for this, by using this system, the merchant only pays 1% or less than 1%. So the merchant's transaction cost goes down. Okay, so it's like a win-win-win situation for everyone. The fifth reason why you want to get into this coin is the full security and support services are provided by PLMP. We have engaged and we know, but a lot of people who invest in cryptocurrencies, after they get the coin, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to secure it, they don't know how to convert it back to cash, which is why you are with PLMP, which is why we are with PLMP. Because PLMP is engaged to provide not only education for you so that you will know what to do and how to secure your wallet and everything, but they will also facilitate your transactions. Okay? In short, you will be looked after. That's a big thing, right? That's a very big thing. Because it's not just about investing in. A lot of people have invested in a lot of ICOs. And on paper, it says you've made a lot of money. But how many of you have actually cashed out? How many of you have actually realized that value? Right? This is where PLMP comes in. Okay? And the sixth reason, and perhaps for some of you, it might be the most important reason why you want to get involved with this, because this is a socially responsible project. We are doing something which we very firmly believe in. And at the core, this project was started to improve the quality of milk that is being given to people. First in India and now to the rest of the world, especially Asia Pacific region. There's no reason why a country like Malaysia cannot be self-sufficient in its own milk production. There's no reason why a country like Indonesia cannot be self-sufficient in its own milk production. The same thing goes for Thailand, Myanmar, and even a country like Bangladesh. Okay, Singapore, of course, we've got land constraint, but even us, we can tap on our neighboring farm, neighboring land in Johor, right? Yeah. So besides impacting the dairy in a very big way, what we also plan to do is contribute to orphanages and elderly, because these are the people who actually need a lot of milk for their protein source, right? And what we have, for a start, what we have committed to do is at least donate 1,000 liters of milk per day, and 1,000 liters of milk donated will actually feed about 5,000 children. 5,000 children, and that's a huge amount, because every child needs to drink about 130 to 200 ml of milk per day. Okay, that's what we're committed to, and we can fulfill this. And through us, you can be a part of this. That's why if you participate with us, you'll be very proud. This is one project you'll be very proud to be associated with, because we are bringing forward a big revolutionary change. Okay. What we have now, the token ICO details, we are raising $39 million for the development of technology and for marketing, and to establish another farm in this region and to push the whole token ecosystem. Okay, at 3 cents. You're all lucky because you're all under the pre-launch thing. For anyone who invests a minimum of $2,000, we will give you 50% bonus. Okay, if you invest $100,000 with us, you will get 60% bonus and a free trip to India to go and visit the farm. You can pet and feed the cow if you want to. Yeah, that's what I do. And you can pay by Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, or Litecoin, or by PayPal. Or you can also pay by check made payable to PLMP. Right? And if you can download the app today itself by scanning, if you have an Android app, we will instantly give you 50 tokens. Okay, and we'll also give you another bonus of 150 tokens once you've verified all the particulars and stuff. Okay. And if you're an Apple app provider, don't fret. Apple iOS, you can still scan it, you can do your KYC. Once you show proof that you've done your KYC, we will reserve these tokens for you. Okay? And for anyone else who decides to invest today, besides the 50%, we will also throw in another 1,000 additional tokens. So you'll get a 50% plus 1,000. So with 50% alone, your token price comes down to about 2 cents. We are confident, okay, because of the way we've structured it, every 200 million tokens, the price will go up by 0.5 cents. Okay? We are very realistic with our projections. We know that by the time we get to market, when we list it, every 200 million coins, it will go up by 0.5 cents. By the time we sell 3 billion coins, it will be at 6 cents, which will double your money. Yeah? If you buy it at 3 cents, it will double your money. If you buy at 3 cents with the bonus, it will make it 3 times the money. That's about 300% return. Now, Is that where we're going to stop? Of course not. Because we hope to push the token value up to as high as 20-30 cents. But that depends on the market. I don't want to give you a lot of, okay? That's it. So if you want to know more about this, I would suggest meet us at the corner of the booth, and we'll explain to you, we'll show you exactly how this app works. The app and all the functionality is already there, so you can see it actually working. You can actually see it working. With that, thank you for your time. I know I took up a little bit more time, but scan the app, get your free tokens, be a part of this journey with us, make a difference. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Niru. Thank you so very much.